Hello, hello, hello. I am the Linux Mensch. Someone was asking me how to get the volume icon in the system tray for the awesome window manager. And this particular person was running Linux Mint Debian. So today I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's get to it. So I booted up into a virtual machine of Linux Mint Debian. And you can see here, this is the Cinnamon desktop, right? And awesome window manager is already installed. So I'm going to put my password in. And of course, it's installed with my configuration file and not with the default Debian Awesome Window Manager configuration file. And I'm going to open up a terminal and let's just do a neo fetch. And you can see we're running at 319 megabytes of RAM. That's not bad. So of course, this Linux Mint Debian LMD E6 FAE. I'm running the Awesome Window Manager. And like I already mentioned, we're running at 319 megabytes of RAM. Let's just do an HTOP for the fun of it. See, we're running at 315 megabytes of RAM. Not bad for Linux Mint Debian. I'm going to close this and I'm going to clear the screen. First of all, you want to do sudo apt install volume icon awesome. Now, if you're running Arch Linux, it's going to be this sudo pacman -S volume icon. So in Arch Linux, you're not going to put the dash ALSA in there. It's just a volume icon. But in a Debian-based system, it's going to be sudo apt install volume icon -ALSA. Okay. Now, of course, if you're running Linux Mint Debian, which this is, you could go into the software center and download it. You don't have to do it this way. And I'm not going to download it because I've already downloaded it. And you can see it's right here. Okay. Now, in my earlier days of using the Awesome Window Manager, when I first installed the volume icon, well, let's just do this. Let's cd into .config. Awesome. Now we're going to go ls it, and we're going to go into, now this file here, this auto start file is a brand new file. I just made it today, and I just posted it to my GitLab repository today. Now, before I started using this, or before today, let's just go into the RC Lua. So the RC Lua is the Awesome Window Manager configuration file. We're going to vim into RC, and we're going to go to the top, and I'm going to set numbers, set NU, and let's go to the bottom. So when I first started using the Awesome Window Manager, I did my auto starting apps when I open up the window manager right in the configuration file. So you can see, for instance, on line 740, it's setting my xrandr to 1360 by 768 because it's a virtual machine, and that's the way I like to do my display. And 742 is starting the volume icon. And now I have other things that are starting there, but they're all turned off. So all these light blue lines that have the dashes in front of them, they're deactivated. I used to have all these turned on. Now, this will work. And when you're starting apps this way in the Awesome Window Manager configuration file, the apps are going to start regardless of whether you're using a display manager or a login manager like lightdm, or whether you're logging in from the TTY with StartX. They're going to start. But there is a problem with the volume icon starting it this way. And this problem doesn't happen with the i3 window manager, and it doesn't happen with the Qtile window manager. And I'm not sure about DWM because I haven't used it for quite a while, so I don't remember. But I know for sure it doesn't happen with i3 window manager or the Qtile window manager. But it does happen with the Awesome window manager. And why? I have no idea. And I'm going to show you. So when you're in a window manager, regardless of whether you're using Awesome or some other window manager, when you make a change in the configuration file, you either have to log out and back in or restart it. Now, the advantage of restarting it is that you don't have to close your apps. But if you log out, everything that's open is going to close. So restarting is always better. And you always have to do that after you make a change in the configuration file. Now, the problem with the volume icon and opening it this way is that watch what happens when we restart it. Now it duplicates. Now there's 2 of them. And let's restart again. Now there's 3 of them. Now if we log out and back in, it will be back down to 1. So when I first noticed this happening, I stopped logging in with lightdm, and that's not really the reason why. Because in my main production machine, I don't use a login manager or a display manager. I have lightdm installed, but it's turned off. And normally I just log in from the TTY. You can have all these auto starts here and log in from the TTY with StartX, and they will work. But you're still going to have the same problem with the volume icon. Every time you restart Awesome, it's going to throw another icon in there. So what I did was my second solution, and today I have a third solution, which is the best solution. It's really better. But what I did was I deactivated that line, saved the file, and I did sudo system control disable lightdm, put my password in, and rebooted. Let's just do a sudo reboot. And I'll just pause the video for a second, maybe. So now lightdm is turned off, and it's going to come into the TTY. And this is the way I log in with my main production machine. Like I said, I have lightdm installed, but it's turned off. So I put my username in, put my password in. Let's try that again. Put my username in, my password in. There we are. And let's clear the screen. Let's do vim xenit. So I have an xenit rc file, and I have volume icon in here. Okay. Let's do startx. And there it is. There's the volume icon. And if you refresh it, it doesn't triplicate or duplicate, right? So the problem is this. Now that we're logging in, what I did was I deactivated the volume icon in the awesome window manager configuration file. It's now deactivated, and it's activated in my .xenitrc file. And that's getting turning on the volume icon when we log in from the TTY. The problem is that it's not going to work if I turn on lightdm. Now watch. Sorry about the blinding eye. Sudo system control enable lightdm. Put my password in. Let's do sudo reboot. Now I'm going to reboot again. Enter. Now let's put my password in. And look at, there's no volume icon. So doing it with xenitrc file, it's good and it works fantastic if you're logging in through the TTY with startx. And when you refresh Awesome, it doesn't duplicate and triplicate the volume icon, but it doesn't work for lightdm. Now I found a third solution, which is really the best, and it's this. I'm going to cd into .config awesome ls it. I made a new file today. It's called autostart. Let's open it up and see what's inside of it. Vim auto. So this is the file, and this file is only working for the Awesome Window Manager. It won't affect any other window managers or the Cinnamon desktop. And what it's going to do is, let's just do set numbers. So line number 9 is going to affect my display because I need that for my virtual machines. Now, if you end up using this file and you're running on bare metal, and if this is not good, then you could either, like if the display is not correct, you could change the display to the way you want it. Or you could put a line like that in, deactivate the line, or you could delete the line. Or like I said, you could find out what is the correct display and put it in there. But let's just do that. Okay, so this file is going to set my display. It's going to turn my number lock, my side key number locks on. It's going to start the volume icon. It's going to start iMwheel, which is for my mouse scroll speed. And it's going to start my power manager. And the line at top, like line 4, 5, and 6, they're going to make sure that the volume icon only opens once, and it doesn't duplicate or triplicate when I'm restarting Awesome Window Manager. Okay, so let's close that. Let's get out of there. Now, this start file, it's going to work exactly the same, regardless of whether you're logging in with lightdm, the display manager, or as I like to call it, the login manager, or whether you're logging in from the TTY with StartX. Either way, it's going to work. So let's just ls it. Let's go into RC Lua. So RC Lua, like I said before, is the awesome window manager configuration file. So let's vim into awesome. Oop. Let's vim into RC Lua. So this file, let's just do a set menu. This file here, what I'm going to do is 740, I don't need it to be there anymore because it's going to be in the other file, right? For my display. So I'm going to just turn that off. And line 738, I'm going to activate. So line 738 is a brand new line. I just put that in today. And that line tells the Awesome Window Manager to look for that other auto start file that I just showed you. Okay. So let's save the file. Let's close this. Let's just log out. Let's log in. You can see it's working. Here's my volume icon. Okay. And let's restart it. Let's restart Awesome and see if it duplicates. And see, it's not duplicating now. Now, let's see if it's going to work when we're logging in from the TTY. So let's do, just want to check my Vim extended RC file. Just want to deactivate it from the TTY, or sorry, from extended RC. There we go. So the volume icon is deactivated here. And let's just, so right now the volume icon is deactivated here, and it's deactivated in the awesome configuration file, but it's turned on and activated or turned on in my auto start file that runs with the Awesome Window Manager. Hope that makes sense. So let's save that file. Let's quit and let's disable lightdm. Sudo system control disable lightdm. Put my password in. Reboot. Sorry about all this rebooting. One thing I like to do is to show you when I do things, I like to show that it's working, because sometimes I've seen people do videos. They show you how to do something, but they don't show you that it actually works. And then when you go to do it, it doesn't work. Like, so let's do mench. And let's do StartX. There's the volume icon. Let's restart. And see, it's not duplicating. So now I'm just going to, oh, sorry for that blinding white light. I'm going to do sudo system control enable lightdm. Put my password in. And I'm going to reboot again. This is the last time I'm going to reboot. Oh, you got to do sudo in Linux Mint Debian. And this is going to work in Arch Linux, Linux Mint, or any Debian-based system. Okay. And I'm going to put my password in. And there's the volume icon. Let's restart. Now, if we log into the Cinnamon desktop, this volume icon is not going to get turned on, because this volume icon is only getting turned on with Awesome. And of course, if you log into the Cinnamon desktop has its own volume icon programmed in there by default. Now, the way you get this is this. I updated my GitLab repository today. So let's go into here. Now, if you never installed my GitLab repository, you do git. First of all, if you don't have Git installed, you're going to have to do sudo apt install git, or sudo pacman s-s git, right? You got to install git. Then to get my GitLab repository, you're going to do sudo, oh, actually not sudo, you're going to do git clone https ://gitlab.com artibis1/mensch.git and hit enter, and it's going to download my GitLab repository. And if that command is too hard for you to remember, and it might be, it's kind of long, this command is in the show notes of all my videos. I'm not going to download it because I've already downloaded it. Now, if you downloaded my GitLab repository before today, and today is Sunday, October the 6th, if you downloaded my GitLab repository before today, then you should do a git pull. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to cd into the Mensch folder, and you're going to do a git pull. And actually, I just updated some of the files in there. Then you're going to clear the screen. And to install it, you're going to do this. You're going to do, now, even if you did this before, if you're running my, I don't know how many people are running my configuration files, but if you are running the awesome window manager with my configuration files, you can rerun it. ls it, and look at all the folders I have here. I have void, Linux Mint Ubuntu, GhostBSD, FreeBSD, Debian, and Arch. So the Arch and the Debian one, they've been updated today with my new configuration files for Awesome. So like I said, if you downloaded my GitLab repository before today, you should update it. We're going to cd into Debian because we're in Linux Mint Debian. I'm going to clear the screen. I'm going to ll. And today, I updated the zshrc file and the awesome folder. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go through this run configs file. Now, even if you downloaded my GitLab repository in the past and you ran the run config file, you can run it again. If you run it again, it's going to put the new awesome and my new zshrc into your folders, into your home folder where they need to be. Okay, so let's just do that. I'm going to do period slash, let's do a sudo period slash run. I'm going to put my password in, and there it's done. Okay, now I'm going to clear the screen. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Well, of course, you have to install the volume app. You have to make sure your volume icon is installed, like I showed at the beginning of the video, and that's it. Now let's get out of there. Let's log back in. And there it is. And we can restart. And it doesn't duplicate or triplicate it. And just to show you, let's quit. Let's go into the awesome, let's go into Cinnamon. We're going to go back into Cinnamon just to show you that there's no conflict. We're going to load up this Cinnamon desktop environment. And here we are. You can see now the Cinnamon has its own volume icon, and there's no conflict. And we can get out of there. Let's log out. Let's go back into the awesome. Put my password in. And there it is. And let's refresh. And it doesn't duplicate or triplicate it. And that's it. In this video, I showed you how to get a volume icon in the status bar with the awesome window manager. And this method will work in Arch Linux, Linux Mint, or any Debian distribution, and it will work in Ubuntu as well. And I showed you the two ways that I used to do it that were inferior, because one method, going through xnrc, only worked with startx when you were logging in from the TTY. It didn't work when you were logging in with lightdm, the login manager. The other way was when I just had a command in the Awesome Window Manager configuration file, and that worked with lightdm and when you were logging in from the TTY with StartX. But every time you refreshed or restarted the Awesome Window Manager, it would throw another icon in there. So you could end up with 2, 3, 4, or 5 icons. The third method works both when you're logging in from the TTY with StartX and when you're working in with lightdm. And it doesn't duplicate or triplicate the icon when you refresh or restart the Awesome Window Manager. And I made my new configuration files and uploaded them to my GitLab repository for you, in case you want to use them. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like it and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I am the Linux Mensch.